What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back in here with one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. And this one, no music in this one today. I'm bringing a new friend of mine to the channel, Earl Nightingale. And I say friend because, man, his wisdom has paid huge dividends in my life. No lie, I went for a period where I listened to The Strangest Secret in the World, realistically, probably for about 90 days straight. And it just really changed the way I was thinking and changed the way I viewed life. And I'm a firm believer that everything that you think in your head manifests into your reality. And we grow up in environments that teach us murder and violence and oppression, and then we are shocked when those things manifest into our reality. So I'm just here to spread some wisdom throughout the younger generation of people like Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor and stuff like that. And today we're going to talk about the power of calmness. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Get yourself on in here now. You know, the goal is to reach 1 million subscribers and start 1 million conversations. But if we reach that 100 million mark, man, look here. I'm a firm believer we kill the narratives in today's world. We just spirits encased in human flesh, not nearly as divided as the media would want you to think. And we're trying to figure out this thing called life. And, you know, with internet and cell phones, man, most people are overstimulated. And if you can't calm down and get yourself lined up, man, you're always going to overreact. And we see what happened at the Oscars, or we see what happened on a nightly basis with these homicides, or whether it's a fight at the club, man. You got to be able to slow down and think, is this worth responding to? So let's listen to The Power of Calmness by Earl Nightingale.
Here's something we should read or listen to once a day for the next 45 years. It was written back at the turn of the century by William George Jordan. He was editor of several magazines during his lifetime, including the Ladies' Home Journal and the Saturday Evening Post. He wrote, "Calmness is the rarest quality in human life. It is the poise of a great nature in harmony with itself and its ideals. It is the moral atmosphere of a life self-reliant and self-controlled. Calmness is single as a purpose, absolute confidence and conscious power ready to be focused in an instant to meet any crisis. The Sphinx is not a true type of calmness. Petrifaction is not calmness, it's death, the silencing of all the energies. While no one lives his life more fully, more intensely, and more consciously than the person who is calm. The fatalist is not calm. He's the coward slave of his environment, hopelessly surrendering to his present condition, recklessly indifferent to his future. He accepts his life as a rudderless ship drifting on the ocean of time. He has no compass, no chart, no known port to which he's sailing. His self-confessed inferiority to all nature is shown in his existence of constant surrender. It is not calmness. The person who is calm has his course in life clearly marked on his chart. His hand is ever on the helm. Storm, fog, night, tempest, danger, hidden reefs, he's prepared and ready for them. He's made calm and serene by the realization that in these crises of his voyage he needs a clear mind and a cool head. That he has nothing to do but do each day the best he can by the light he has. That he will never flinch nor falter for a moment. That though he...
And in order to see through the mass of propaganda that's on TV right now and on social media, and you got to be calm. You got to slow down and say, is this really important? How does this affect me? You know, it throws me off that, like, in America, everybody, not everybody, but you're supposed to think the same based off your skin color. Like, my shade of black is different than so many people's shade of black, but we're supposed to all identify with Black Lives Matter. And if I'm in an over-emotional state, I can run with that. But if I'm calm, I can sit down logically and understand that makes no sense. That my brain doesn't have a clue what color my skin is. And it's up to me to be a good human being. Like, I was talking to someone yesterday at this commercial that I was shooting. I was saying, you know, it's weird how everyone has so got caught up in the material world. Like, we forgot that we're spirits. Like, everyone says that they believe or they have faith, but we walk around all uptight and nervous. And the same way that your stomach gets overwhelmed and you need to empty your bowels out. I mean, I think a lot of people need to do that for their brain. I think a lot of humans need to take a mental poop. You know, drink water, take vitamins, go meditate, man. Get to know yourself, get aligned, and sit still and know God, man.
He may have to tack and leave his course for a time. He'll never drift. He'll get back into the true channel. He'll keep ever headed toward his harbor. When he will reach it, how he will reach it matters not to him. He rests in calmness, knowing he's done his best. When the worries and cares of the day fret you and begin to wear upon you and you chafe under the friction, be calm. Stop. Rest for a moment and let calmness and peace assert themselves. If you let these irritating outside influences get the better of you, you're confessing your inferiority to them by permitting them to dominate you. When the tongue of malice and slander, the persecution of inferiority, tempt you to retaliate, when for an instant you forget yourself so far as to hunger for revenge, be calm.
Be calm, man. Learn to check that ego. And I say that like because as a public figure, you understand a lot of criticism coming your way. And I think it's a Winston Churchill quote that I really love, and it says, "If you stop and throw stones at every barking dog, you never reach your destination." And we live in a society that teaches you that you always need to snap back or clap back. And don't let that ride, or don't let that slip. And it's like, it really hit me the other day that people really be beefing with strangers. Like, in my concept, when someone doesn't like you, you went to school with them, you lived in a certain proximity of them. But in today's age, like, you really don't know most of the people who don't like you. They're on the internet all around the world. And when you can step back and laugh at that, man, it keeps you in a calm state. And if it is someone at your job, at your school, in your family that you have to deal with on a daily basis. Another quote I heard is when you learn that a person's attitude and the way they carry themselves has more to do with their internal feelings than their external beings, like has nothing to do with you, you have more empathy for them. Because you walk around and you look at all these hyper angry, aggressive people, and while in the world it may seem like they're taking it out towards you, there's really something going on inside of them and they're broken, man. There's so many broken humans in this world that just give love and be respectful as you can. Now protect your energy. If it's somebody who they just super negative, disconnect yourself from them and get as far away as you can, because that negative energy could transfer onto you and you don't need that in your life, man. Let the dead bury the dead and keep moving.
When the gray heron is pursued by its enemy, the eagle, it does not run to escape. It remains calm, takes a dignified stand, and waits quietly, facing the enemy unmoved. With the terrific force with which the eagle makes its attack, the boasted king of birds is often impaled and run through on the quiet, lance-like bill of the heron. No person in the world ever attempted to wrong another without being injured in return, some way, somehow, sometime. Remain calm. Now, all of that was written at the turn of the century and in language that today might sound a bit affected and archaic. It's a good message. If ever there were a quality needed in the crisis-filled world of today, it's calmness, and the kind of clear thinking calmness produces. I wonder how improved our days would be if we would make it a point to go over that little message every.
It sounds like this man is talking about 2022 on God. And he's been gone for a while. Rest in peace. But imagine if we had calmness in this world today. If we had some men that could stand up and be stoic. Everything is so over emotional nowadays, and it's so watered down. And I just look at life and I think society tries to break young boys as young as they can. You know, I worked at an elementary school. I got to see kids in Montessori. And you see at a young age, a lot of the things that the teachers think these boys are doing that are wrong is just natural masculinity showing. Me and my little brother used to wrestle and roughhouse and put each other in DDT moves and stuff sometimes. You know, there's something that comes with raising children. And our society has let adults push their broken ways on children. And we don't have enough parents standing up for their children. Shout out my homegirl, Jessica Laurent. She ran for school board in St. Louis and she won. Hey, she's a dope individual. She's standing up for her children, so I had to give her some love. But what's going on in today's society is that kids are vulnerable. With me being a father, I look at these children, I understand you could teach them anything you want. And they do press your buttons. You could lose your cool, but you have to remain calm, because that 1 second that you overreact and you destroy their trust with them, you never get that back. You know, the crazy thing about trust is it takes a while to build up, but you could lose it in a second. And as parents, you have to change the way you respond to your children if you always want them to trust you and not get influenced by this outside world. Like, when I say I became extremely calm with my children, it's because I understand the world is fighting against me. The world is waiting for me to overreact. Because the minute I overreact, the minute I respond the wrong way, the minute I get too hard on my children, the world is like, gotcha. And I seen a photo this morning of Kim and Kanye, and Kim is standing off to the side with her arms crossed, and Kanye's over here and all the children with him smiling. Like, that's literally our society. Society wants to rip fathers away, but as men, we have to remain calm and see how do we logically still develop relationships with our children. Because the minute we get emotional and real overreact, then our children pull away because they see us as big bad monster or whatever, you know, because that's how I viewed my father when I was a child. not understanding. He was just emotional. He was just passionate about what he cared about. So this is to all my older men, young men, anybody who's watching this, man. Get a little more calm in your life. You know, don't be disrespectful, but be assertive, if that makes sense. But say it with calmness, like some James Bond style or Shaft or something like that. You know, not so much Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but Earl Nightingale is a huge influence in my life. If you don't know anything about him, definitely study and check out his work, man. Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Ralph Waldo Emerson, man. They're all Frederick Nietzsche. They're all men who've really expanded my mind in ways I didn't even know was possible. So until next time, man, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, be the change you wish to see in this world. And we